Good afternoon. This is Talk About News, and today is September 26, 2025. And we are here to give an update to the Newmar Motorhome story that's been going around. I'm very interested in this story. As a previous RV owner, I had an RV for about 15 years. And so this is a story that I was definitely interested in. If you're not familiar with the story, you can go back and watch my video here that talks about the background. There's a lady that is kind of an advocate for RV owners, and she heard a story about a couple out of Canada that was trying to sell their RV. And through a series of events, it turned into a nightmare for them. And what I want to do is, first of all, notify anybody that thinks that I'm doing clickbait. This is not clickbait. This is a real story about real people and real events. This story is not monetized. I'm not making any money on it. The channel name is Talk About News, not Talk About Bullshit. So we only do news stories here. And we often use AI to enhance the story, but not to make stories up or use AI to generate content. I am clearly generating this, and I am not an AI, though I could possibly be. You'll never know. So, but I wanted to let you know that I have been trying to find information. And so I found some information. I found a response from Newmar. We're going to play that so that you can see what Newmar says. And then I went out to the Canadian RIV site and some other federal motor carrier sites to try to identify where the problem is. And spoiler alert, I believe that the problem is the people, the government workers that started this nightmare for this couple. And it's clearly not the couple's problem. And it clearly isn't Newmar's, Freightliner, anybody else's problem. This is a shit story of incompetent government workers that don't know their job. And this becomes the theme. Clearly in Canada now, the theme. Their country's falling apart. I feel bad for these people, and they don't deserve this kind of treatment. I think this problem might have been generated by the American customs enforcement and not Canadian. I have to go back and watch the video again, and I'm not even 100% sure if they clearly state which inspectors, whether the U.S. inspectors or Canadian inspectors that are doing this. But clearly, this is another, story about incompetence in our governments, and that's the real problem. So I think that clearly after going through this, I don't believe that the owners have a case with the manufacturer. I believe that they thought that they did at the time that they made that statement, but after looking into this, I don't think Newmar has any wrongdoing in this, and I don't think the people, the owners, understood where the real problem was. They were trying to, do the right thing. They're just trying to sell their coach, and some dipshit, jumps in the middle of their life and ruins it. And all of the damage that the coach has received, you're never going to get that back. All of the miles on it, you're never going to get that back. And the pain and suffering, not going to get that back. So hopefully there is some resolution that they can take with if it's the United States government customs or Canadian, whichever one, or both. Maybe it's both. Something can be done about that. I'm an advocate for the people. I've become an activist, and I have over 10 years of litigation myself. So I'm very educated on the court systems as well. So once again, I'm not talking out of my ass here. This is life experience, and I feel bad for these people. But let's jump in this and show you. We'll pick you up, we'll get you caught up, and then we'll switch over and look at some of the documents that I have found, and listen to Newmar, and then see, do you still feel the same about it?
Newmar Motorhome manufacturer may be sued by the United States. The coaches are sold without a VIN number attached to the frame.
Today, we're going to talk about an RV manufacturer mistake so big that apparently the U.S. government is getting involved.
I can't sell an RV that doesn't have a VIN on it, and now I've got this $660,000 fine.
Hi, I'm Liz. I'm an RV consumer advocate. Another YouTube channel did a video about this, but then quickly took it down due to pressure from the manufacturer. I push back against RV manufacturers every week, so I decided to take this on. This is serious. It could be widespread. It could affect other manufacturers, not just Newmar. Newmar, by the way, is the maker of upscale motorhomes.
We're going to jump into this, and I'm going to hit some of these things. First thing I want to do is look at some of these documents that were used. There is the Government of Canada. This is Canada.ca, and buying a pre-owned vehicles. Different stories about. I was trying to find RV and VIN number stories on this site. I did find this. This is from VSABC.ca. This is Motor Vehicle Sales Authority of British Columbia. And here is the part that I think, this is the money shot right here. The VSA Board of Directors created a sales advisory committee in 2007 to give a voice to the 6,600 licensed salespeople. The committee provides ongoing advice, comments to the Visa Board, blah, blah, blah. Okay, I did find this. This is RV registration, which VIN and model and year. This is really important information. And it talks about Class B, C, and Class A. So their coach is a Class A diesel pusher. And here is in BC, dealers need to register Class B and C motorhomes using the chassis VIN and its associated model number designation. The designated by the secondary manufacturer of the coach. Remember, I told you that these are built in stages, so the chassis is not the same person that builds the coach. These are completely different companies. So even so, Class A units are still registered using the chassis VIN. This creates some Class A situations where a unit may be registered with a model year newer than the indicated registered VIN. The chassis includes the frame, steering, and suspension, exhaust, and powertrain. Okay, and then it tells you to go to these places and try to find to get more information. When I do that, I get this error. This is a marker file generated by the pre-compilation tool. It should be deleted, and I get this page with a 404 error. So, and when I click on either this or this, those two links. So you can see that for the average user, just trying to get the right information can be a severe problem. So we'll get rid of these. Let's go back to here. So I went to registrar or imported vehicles, and I wrote them the email that I showed you, or I read to you earlier. These people here, you can get that information off here if you want to call them or email them yourselves. You can email support@support.riv.ca. You can call them at 888-848-8240. I'm hoping that they will send me the standards and registration requirements so that I can update a third video showing you guys what is exactly what is required on a Class A to be imported. And then the definition of importing. I believe at one point these people were just trying to bring it into the United States and they created a problem. They never made any claims of trying to import or sell it. But somebody took that opportunity. This is where the bullshit comes in, to stick them with a $660,000 fine, which is supposedly 3 times more value than the cost of the coach, which begs another serious question that nobody's talking about. How did they come up with that number? Where did they come up with 660,000 3 times? Because the owners claim it's a $600,000 coach. I think they were trying to sell it. I heard them mention $1 million. Maybe that's a conversion number between American dollars and Canadian dollars. But I never heard them say anything about $200,000. So this fine is 3 times the cost. Then somebody's claiming that coach is only worth $200,000, and they might have done the RV owner serious economic damage by doing that. Because now there is a written document by the government customs claiming that the vehicle is only worth $200,000. Yeah, that's a serious problem right there. Somebody needs to look into that. But let's go in and listen to what the president, Newmar's president, says, and see if we can get to the bottom of this. All right, let's go and let's listen to this right now.
And now there's some other things going through forums and people, copying and pasting it. But again, it's full of misinformation and inaccuracies. So it's best that we just set it straight and tell people what's going on. Again, I think, and it mentions Spartan versus Freightliner. We treat our chassis the same, so our standards are the same for both and how we build them. And again, let's just make sure people know they can confidently drive a Newmar anywhere they'd want and not be stopped crossing a border if they're trying to go in and out of Canada or something. Even in the U.S., I think some people are starting to be concerned about it. So I think first and foremost, all of our RVs are built within compliance. There's several different standards. RVIA is one of them. Federal standards is another. And again, they're all in compliance. This isn't like just one specific thing that I want to mention. I want to mention that it's in compliance across the board. But about the Spartan chassis, basically the regulation says for a second stage manufacturer like ourselves, when we build that coach, we have to put a label in it and we have to permanently affix it, is the words they use. And basically the way most RV manufacturers do that today is with a label that if you then peel the label off, it permanently destroys it. And that way if somebody's tampered with it. That's what they're looking for. That label is located both on Spartan and Freightliners built, or Newmars built on either one of those chassis, behind the driver's seat on the wall. And there's a couple labels there, but one of them is the official with the 17-digit VIN. It's in 3 other places. It's on the door sometimes, or the door screen area. And then it's also in a kitchen cabinet. And it's in the back cabinet, the back closet. The question is, well, isn't it stamped on the chassis somewhere? Let's talk Freightliner versus Spartan. Freightliner does have a tag on it in the motor compartment, I believe is where it's located. And that is their choice to put that on there. Spartan, instead, they etch it on the frame. It's about 6 inches behind the front suspension airbag is where I'll describe it, on the rail of the chassis. And it's 5 digits is what you're going to see. Now you're going to ask, well, wait a minute, it's not all 17. There's a reason for that. Those 5 are the digits that we get for kind of a serial number coming from the chassis. We then build the house on it and make it into an RV. Then we have to put the 17-digit label on that coach. Them putting the 5 digits on is a courtesy more or less for us, so that when we go out in the chassis yard, we can find that chassis with a number. It's not required. That's why most people, and we had caravans of people going in and out of Canada and Alaska this year with no problem. That's why when they pass over that border, usually they get asked for paperwork, and they'll come in and look at the tag in the coach. They're usually not scouring underneath looking, because it's not technically a requirement. I won't comment on this specific issue with this specific customer that happened about 4 months ago, because there's a legal case that they're having to deal with, and we're not going to comment on that publicly. But for anybody driving, again, they can have confidence. The label is there. It meets the standard. They're in compliance. And if they have questions, this is always something, if they're worried about it, they want to know more detail, they want help finding it on theirs for whatever reason, they can call us at the customer service number, 1-800-731-8300, and my team can help them anytime, 24/7.
Okay, so well, you can see that that was the president of Newmar, and he explains exactly how this process rolls out, how they create the partial VIN, and then the full VIN is generated after that. I have a lot of questions about does the partial VIN even exist in the universe outside of that manufacturer until that is a complete RV. Don't know the answer to that. So I think that somebody needs to look into that a little bit. I really do believe that this is a violation by customs. They have put these people through hell. And as I was saying, that in my research, I did find information about a VIN on the chassis. It does not say anything about a full 15 number VIN, whatever it is, that the customs people told the owners. Now, if that information can be proven, if somebody can put that in, if that's in writing somewhere, that's a case against the government for the damage that these people incurred. Remember, when they sent the coach out to be sold, the damage happened on the way back, not the way down. And had this not been a problem, it never would have came back. Therefore, the damage never would have happened. So somebody needs to be held accountable for that damage, plus the additional miles, which reduce the value of the coach. And now it's just a pariah. Nobody wants to, touch it. These people are probably gonna eat it unless their attorney is willing to go after the Canadian or the United States government. Whoever did this to them or both need to be held accountable for the things that they said. When you really just kind of think about it on its face, these coaches have been sold for so many years that a problem like this would have been picked up 20, 30 years ago if this was a real problem. And that should have been probably the red flag, is that, wait a minute, what's going on here? Were there RVs that have full VINs and then something happened in the manufacturing process and they stopped putting VINs on it and nobody caught it? There should have been some investigating of that going on. I think a lot of people are, just kind of ready to go to lawsuit, and that can be a problem. You truly believe you're in the right, and it turns out you're not, even though the evidence may suggest that you are. But when you think about things like this, there's no, this couldn't have been the beginning of it, or that this has been going on for 30, 40 years and nobody noticed that there's no VINs on the chassis, and not a single coach had ever been sold from Canada into the United States, and blah, blah, blah. I mean, this would have been a story a long, long time ago if it was a story. So it's really sad that it got to this point, and these people lost a lot of money, but I think they were kind of hoodwinked by the government. More incompetence. Yeah, we know what that looks like here in the United States, and we surely are getting to watch it in real time with the Canadian government, how they're destroying their citizens' lives with all of the bullshit and all of this terror crap going on. it's a tragedy. The people are the ones that get holding the bag and having to pay the bill, not the government. So I hope that they have some kind of path to make themselves whole, and I hope that they can find a way to expose whoever actually did this to them, and basically lie to them. You know, sent them down a rabbit hole that didn't have to end. You know, it's like, okay, you can chase this rabbit down here as long as you want. You're never going to find the answer, because there is no answer. There's no answer. So I'm waiting on our RIV to get back with me with, hopefully they'll send me documentation of the actual true real requirements somewhere, and the links on where those things are posted. And I will update this video with another video sharing that information with you. Hopefully RIV is listening to this video, and because if they don't respond, I will make a video about that. I am an activist. I've been hurt myself by the government, and therefore I am for we the people of the United States, and I protect them viciously. So I will do my best to keep these people informed and keep the American public. And as a former RV owner myself, I truly believe that we need to stick together. We are stronger as a single voice. So thank you for taking the time to watch this video. And as always, God bless you, and God bless the United States of America. Take care.